Hi, my name's Katie, and this is my sister Sarah.
And we just want to remind everybody that
Girls
Girls
Like
Like
Rock
Rock
too.
2. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to the Girls Like Rock 2 podcast. And today's episode, Katie and I are going to share our 2024 YouTube recap.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are probably more familiar with the Spotify gift wrap,
Totally. Yeah.
but full disclosure, I have YouTube Premium, as does Sarah, in which you get YouTube music for free with that.
Exactly.
Or not for free, but included. So I don't have Spotify anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had Spotify. I've just
Oh,
used,
really?
no,
I much prefer Spotify. So with hard times comes lack of funds and cutting back on streaming services. So
That's
Spotify
right.
had to go.
Fair enough. Well, thank you, YouTube, for giving us our recap for the year.
Yes.
It's can be kind of a personal thing, the recap. I don't know if you're a bit
For
nervous
sure.
sharing this. I think some people wouldn't want to, but
Mine's incredibly embarrassing.
I have a few embarrassing things on mine as well.
Yeah.
But you know what? We are going to be fully transparent and share our top 5 listened to artists, albums, and stick around till the end because we are going to share our most played tracks. Very exciting.
Pretty exciting. Yeah.
Very. All right. We are going to start with our top most played artists.
Okay. Do you want to start or you want me to get the ball rolling?
Go for it, Katie.
Okay. So my top 5 artists in order.
All right.
Let's go with number 1. If you know me, no shocker, it's Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam. Nice.
Yes. Pearl Jam is up there because they came out with a new album this year.
That's right.
Called Dark Matter. And in my opinion, it was way better than their last album, Gigaton.
Yes, I've heard a few people on YouTube say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't shock me that Pearl Jam is number 1 because they're probably my favorite band now, and I listen to them a lot.
Nice.
The second one, my opinion, not as cool as Pearl Jam, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift makes sense for 2024.
Yes, I definitely fell on the trend of Taylor Swift with the Eras Tour. Sarah and I actually did go to see the Eras Tour movie.
We did.
Yep, October 2023.
That's right.
And like her or not, she makes catchy music.
She does. She's a good artist.
She's a very good artist.
Yep.
So I'm not shocked that she's number 2. Also, this is probably because of my daughter, who loves Welcome to New York, because I made the mistake of telling her it's from Secret Life of Pets. If anyone has seen that movie, it's the opening montage of New York, I guess. So it's appropriate that Welcome to New York starts the movie off. So now my daughter Brooke loves listening to it.
It's a good track.
The third top 5 artist is completely embarrassing.
Do it, Katie. Share it.
It's Live.
Live.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's bad. That's my top 5 artists of the whole year. Live is number 3.
But you know what? It evens out with the coolness of Pearl Jam.
Does it?
I think so.
Yeah. So
you're allowed.
If you know me, you'll know that I'm a closeted, dorky American rock fan.
More on that in another episode.
Oh my gosh, is there?
Yes.
So Live, I got into them a while ago, like years ago, and I reignited my Live flame with watching Party of 5. There is a scene where Bailey, the second oldest child in the family, is just rocking out to I Alone. Nice. So my husband and I started watching Party of 5 this year. I made him get into it. So then I just got really into Throwing Copper, their 94 album.
Okay. Nice.
And I guess apparently so much so that they were my top 3 artists of the year. And the last 2, again, if you know me, no shocker. The fourth one is No Doubt.
No Doubt. Good one. Good choice. Yeah. Yep. Not a shock for you.
No, I love Gwen Stefani. I love No Doubt. They probably are my top 4 this year because, first of all, Sarah and I went to see Gwen Stefani in Toronto back in May.
Yep.
So I just got really into it. And No Doubt were the headliner for Coachella. And they hadn't played together. I want to say it was 10 years. I'm not 100% sure if it was 10 years, but I think it was like a decade since they played together. So, of course, with going to see Gwen and then I just watched their you could YouTube like
Yeah. Yeah, I
their
think
set
I think a few
list,
songs
and
too. Yeah,
oh my gosh, like just so good. Even after all these years, they're still so good.
classic.
So yeah, they made my top 5. And last but not least,
Last but not least,
guess who?
guess who? Who is it?
Oasis.
Oasis.
Yeah. So with them reuniting, and anyone who knows our family knows that our brother was incredibly into Oasis growing up, so that kind of just got Sarah and I into it.
Totally.
So when I was young, I would say I probably only liked Oasis simply because you and Chris liked Oasis. Chris, our older brother. But then the older I got and the more I listened to them, I'm like, man, they're good.
They are. They're a good
Yeah.
band.
Kind of like I said about Taylor Swift. Hate Noel Gallagher or not, like he's a good songwriter.
Oh, he is definitely.
is.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't be at a get together and Don't Look Back comes on and people don't sing along to it.
That's a classic
It's,
song.
you know.
Yeah.
So
For
so
sure.
there you have
Nice.
it. Pearl Jam, Taylor Swift live, No Doubt, and Oasis.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for sharing, Katie. That's
So-
a pretty, good.
Eclectic list.
Yeah. Hey, that's
Yeah.
how it is.
Okay. So now your turn.
Yeah, I'll share my top 5. Actually, Oasis being on your top 5. My top artist this year is Oasis. As Katie mentioned, we're sisters. We grew up with Oasis.
Yeah.
They're the sound of our childhood. I fell back in love with Oasis in the last 2 years. They've been my support, music, going through a few things in life. And of course, with announcing their tour this year, also got back into them.
Oh, I think everybody got back into it.
I have to share. I received a badge from YouTube Music.
That's right.
That's right. I am one of the 0.01% top Oasis listeners on YouTube Music.
It's actually pretty impressive.
I have listened to Oasis 120 times more than the average Oasis listener this year. That's yeah.
Wow.
So, anyone listening, if you're part of that and you received a badge, let me know. I'd love to connect with the zero.
Good for you. I didn't even get a Pearl
Point.
Jam badge.
Yeah,
Kind of makes me
So,
yeah,
I have a lot going on in my
feel like
life.
a loser. Yeah.
So, yeah. Oasis number 1. Let's see other ones here. Crowded House.
That's like my live. Or are you? Oh
House are
no,
great.
actually, you're not embarrassed by them. You're not.
I am
embarrassed
not
by them.
embarrassed to say I'm a huge Crowded House fan, which just started this year. I saw them in Niagara Falls in the fall, and I got into them this summer. And Crowded House are an older band; they've been around forever, but it's kind of cool for getting into a new band for yourself that's old because you can listen to like their whole discography. And just really kind of hear the development of the band all at once, which is kind of cool. Which is what I did with Crowded House.
I can tell you, I know not a single thing about Crowded House except that they sing "Don't Dream It's Over,"
And that's a good song. Yeah.
and that's the only thing I know about Crowded House. I don't know where they're from. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Australia?
New Zealand.
Kind of close.
Neil Finn. Yeah.
I know nothing about them.
I didn't know much about them either, except for the Hey Now song. But they're great. Fantastic songwriters. His sons are now in the band. They were a solid live set. Totally recommend. So they were my second.
Okay.
Third, Sabrina Carpenter.
Nice.
There it is. It's
Very
out there.
nice.
I'm a huge Sabrina Carpenter fan. I think she's a great artist.
Yeah.
I like her new album.
Espresso is a good song.
Espresso is a great
definitely a good song.
Yeah. So, she's great.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised Taylor Swift is not on my list.
Yeah,
actually.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm very surprised at that too.
And my next two, this is kind of a segue into my top played album, actually. Liam Gallagher, not surprising, and John Squire. But I think they're both on my top 5 artists list because my most played album for the year is the Liam Gallagher and John Squire album. Liam Gallagher, lead singer of Oasis,
Yeah.
John Squire, former lead guitarist of the Stone Roses, came together, brought out a fantastic album in the spring. A slow burn for sure, but it really grows on you, and I listened to that a lot.
Even one
this year.
song you sent me, something about
The-
Mars.
Oh, Mars to Liverpool. Yeah, that's one of
Oh,
their singles. That's
okay.
a good one.
I must
Yeah.
admit, I'm not a huge Britpop fan, but even I was like, this isn't bad.
It's good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm disappointed. They only played one show in North America this year in New York.
Well,
That's right. I
sorry.
was hoping they were going to come to Toronto. But what can you do?
Hey, man, I felt the same thing with Pearl Jam.
That's right. Yes.
Pearl Jam, if you happen to be listening, please come back to Southwestern Ontario, please.
I'm sure they will. They seem to like to tour.
Yeah,
Um,
they're not getting
Yeah.
any younger though.
they're not getting any younger. No, that's true. That's
No.
true.
Actually, Eddie Vedder did. Is it Boxing Day or Christmas Eve? Like right around Christmas. Super dorky that I know this, but he did turn 60.
Did he?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Eddie Vedder. That's awesome. All right. Well, I guess with that,
Well, why don't you go with your top 5 albums because you
Cool.
already told us your first.
right. Okay. So, next one is the very best of Crowded House. I listened to them a lot because I went to see them in September. All their singles, classic. Best of is a great starter for a band. Definitely maybe the debut album of Oasis. Not surprising,
Yeah.
given that they're my top played band.
I have a feeling a lot of people probably had definitely maybe as their top 5.
It's a good album.
Yeah.
It's their 30th. It was their 30th anniversary.
30th anniversary. They announced a
So,
reunion.
yeah.
I bet you a lot of people had that.
Yeah, yeah. So good one. Fever Dreams by Johnny Marr. One of Katie's favorites. No.
I just don't know much about Johnny Marr.
Yeah, similarly to Oasis, I fell back in love with the Smiths this year. If you're a Smiths listener, you're usually like more of a Marr fan or a Morrissey fan.
Oh, I'm definitely a Marr fan.
I'm a
don't-
huge,
yeah.
huge Johnny Marr fan. And he, his solo stuff, sometimes, I'm sure you've had this where the lead guitarist or lead singer of a band, they'll start doing some solo stuff and it's kind of like,
Oh, for sure.
if they're from like an amazing band.
Oh, for sure.
But Johnny Marr does not disappoint. Huge fan. Yeah, great. Had some FOMO when he came to Toronto and I didn't go, but
I'm shocked. I'm really very surprised you did
I know.
not go.
I'm quite obsessed with Johnny Marr.
Because that,
I know.
yeah, when did he come? In the fall?
Yeah, well, it was right around like the Canadian Thanksgiving. So
Oh, man.
So-
No, I was surprised he didn't go.
yeah, I'm sure that would have
Yeah.
been a great show. Last but definitely not least, Be Here Now. Again, not surprising. The third Oasis album. A great album. We'll probably talk about that more.
It is surprising, though, in the sense that you would think it would have been for you, definitely maybe, and What's the Story, Morning Glory.
Yeah.
So I am surprised it's Be Here Now.
yeah.
Especially because I believe that's not even your favorite Oasis album. Don't give it away, because we'll do that in another episode.
Not giving my favorite Oasis album away. No, I know you'd think it'd be Morning Glory. I'm sure a lot of people it's Morning
Yeah.
Glory. Morning
Yeah.
Glory's great, but Be Here Now is a good album.
Oh, that's a solid album.
Yeah,
Solid album.
It is. So yeah, those are my top 5 albums. Katie,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Number 1. Again, I'm not going to get into it. Dark Matter, Pearl Jam.
nice.
Enough said. The second one, Beaches, Blame My Ex.
Beaches.
Yeah. So
another good
I've listened
band.
to the Beaches for a while now. I remember hearing them on FM 96 if you're from Southwestern Ontario. That's the alternative rock station in London. And probably a good 6 years ago, thinking these chicks are pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
they sound pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And then they came out with this album. I think, yeah, it's from 2023. And it is a solid album. Like every
is.
single song is good.
Yeah,
Every
you
single
got
song.
me into that
Yeah.
album. It's great.
Yeah. So I'm not shocked that that's my second one. And to be honest, that I'm unlike my live incident. I'm actually pretty proud that the Beaches made number 2. So Beaches, if you are happening to listen to this, Girls Like Rock 2, they would know that.
They would definitely know that.
They would
for
definitely agree
sure.
with that.
Yes.
And you made my second top album of the year.
nice.
Third one, 90s classic, Everclear.
Everclear.
So Much for the
Wow,
Afterglow.
a 90s classic.
Could you tell me, do you know what the top songs are on So Much for the Afterglow?
Santa Monica.
No,
No.
that's from the one
I don't
before.
know.
So Much for the Afterglow. I Could Buy You a New Life.
Okay.
Yeah, Everything to Everyone.
Okay, I know that one.
Yeah, classic.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, that was my top 3. That one, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit surprised about
Yeah.
that. They did come to London last fall, and I really wanted to go.
Yes, I remember
I
that.
even asked you to go. I asked my brother. I got my husband into it, and then I don't know, it just fell on a school night. and
Yeah.
we just didn't. Kind of like you with Johnny Marr.
Oh yeah. It
Looking back, I'm
happens.
like, oh, I should have just gone, but we
Yeah.
just didn't go. So if Everclear ever comes back, I do want to.
Yeah, no,
do
I'm
wanna go.
I'm sure they're
And
great live.
kind of goes back on your idea how you were talking about Crowded House and how it's kind of cool to get into a band when they've already been established.
It is.
And I kind of feel like that was me and So Much for the Afterglow because I'd only ever listened to the big songs
okay.
on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, yeah, Father of Mine, Everything to Everyone, and I Could Buy You a New Life. Yeah. So I knew those songs. And then I put it on the one day while I was cleaning my house and listened to the whole album. And I was just like, man, this is a solid album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
I totally recommend it. It's just your 1997 alternative rock sound, which, as you know, I love.
Yes. That's great.
And then the fourth one, again, I'm not going to get into it because I've already gone into it. No doubt, the set list. So their Coachella set list. That was my fourth.
Oh, okay. That's the Coachella set list. That's the album. Oh,
yeah.
neat. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's not a shocker. And then last but not least, Taylor Swift, 1989.
That's a good album.
It is a good album.
That's a good album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, also probably on here because of Brooke's obsession with Welcome to New York.
Right. Yeah.
But also it is a solid album.
It is.
I actually bought it back in the day on iTunes.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I
okay.
spent like
You're dating yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
I spent like the $11.99 and
Oh,
bought
nice.
the 1999 album. Yeah. That's probably the last album I actually bought off iTunes.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and Tay Tay go way back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She's great. Yeah.
Okay, so should we now unveil our song of the year?
Let's do it. Let's just do it. All right. Katie?
Okay, my song of the year is Dua Lipa, Dance the Night Away.
Good track.
I think it said something ridiculous, like I listened to it over 130 times.
That's not that bad.
No. Again, I know I keep using my daughter as a scapegoat here, but
Yes,
she
you do.
loves that song because I told her it's from the
Sure.
Barbie movie.
Yeah.
And you know what? Not even just that. It's a good song.
It is.
It's catchy.
It's a good song.
It's a catchy song.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
Mine, not dissimilar to yours. My top track is Espresso, Sabrina
Yeah.
Carpenter. It's a solid one.
It is a solid one. Yeah.
It was a great summer track. So catchy. The
lyrics are funny.
yeah.
Let's be honest. They're
It-
funny.
It suits the vibe of the song. The video I thought was well done, for the
Yeah.
song. So yeah, that's that's my top track of the year.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you have it. Katie and I's top artists, albums, and
Top song of the year.
songs. Yeah, I mean, my top artist being Oasis and Katie's top artist being Pearl Jam, pretty much sums up this podcast. So if you're
Yeah.
if you're into that,
It really does.
You'll enjoy this podcast.
Yeah. That being said, we hope you tune into our next episode. And
Yeah, that's right. We post every other Friday.
we just want to remind everybody, girls like rock too.